To make porcelain, we need 3 ingredients. The first one is just here. This is kaolin. If you want to touch it, it's very soft. We need 50% of it, and it was discovered at 20 kilometers far from here at Saint-Thierry-la-Perche in the 18th century. Then we need to add 25% of feldspar, just here, for the solidity of porcelain. We need to add 25% of quartz for the shiny aspect.
Okay.
To mix everything, we need to have this ingredient just here to mix them together. So we receive the 3 ingredients in 3 different textures in Oradour-sur-Glane. So you have the first one here, which is a block that we mix with some water to have a liquid paste for casting, which is the first technique of fabrication. Then we have this kind of powder for isostatic pressing, another technique. And for the last one, which is just here for pressing, you have a kind of semi-soft paste. I'm going to show you how we make a piece, a handle, just here, with the first technique of fabrication, casting. So I need a plaster mold, just here, and I'm gonna fill it with my liquid paste that we can also call barbotine. As each mold is in plaster, it is porous, so it is going to absorb the water which is in the liquid paste to make only the thickness of each piece. Here we still have a kind of liquid paste, but it's normal. So I have to remove the excess of paste just here, and I'm going to unmold my handle. So we have to be careful, just here, and as you can see, we have created a handle. So we need to remove the excess of paste, of course, to have a better piece. Just here. So they do this with this tool. And then after, of course, we have a perfect piece. So I try to do my best. So for example, with the handle just here, if we want to apply it on a creamer, for example, we need to put the creamer just here, and then the handle. And we have to apply some barbotine just here, the liquid paste on the extremities, and then apply it. So I take the handle.
Oh wow.
We need to apply then the handle on the creamer. For the second technique, we need the semi-soft paste just here that we put into a revolving plaster mold. So before we used to do this with our foot, but now in Oradour-sur-Glane this is mechanical. So this iron tool is lowered and press the paste, and this is how we can do, for example, a teacup just like this. With this mold we can have this piece. Isostatic pressing, we need the powder of the 3 ingredients that we put into our mold, which is divided into 2 parts. You have the iron one just here, and then you also have a plastic one. And the mold and the powder will undergo a very high pressure of 10 tons, and this is how we can make some plates like this one. So after this, and they need 10 years of experience to have the good technique and the good gesture. So they put their hands on the bottom of the piece, and then after They put it into the glazing bath and they do a kind of gesture like that to apply the glaze perfectly on the plate. And you can see that it has absorbed the glaze really rapidly, really quickly, sorry, until now. So thanks to the porosity of the piece, it has absorbed the glaze. So just here you can see my fingerprints, but generally we don't have this. And they put the plate just here to rub the bottom of the piece for them not to stick in the kiln during the second firing. The second firing lasts 24 hours too, and each pieces are fired at 1,400 degrees. So here you have the prototype, the piece at the beginning of the production. So you can see that the details are really, really precise. Then this piece has been fired once, so you got this one, and the details are less precise, and the piece has shrink from 3%. Then we have glazed this piece just here, and after the second firing, we can get this one. So in total, it has shrink from 14%. This is why we need a lot of time to do our molds of production. Which can create our piece. Here you have the historic part of the tour. You can see the evolution of porcelain from the 18th century just here to now over there. So you can see that forms and decors have evolved, and the stamps too, because before the porcelain belonged to the royal family. This is why you have something like that. To apply the transfer on a plate like that, we need to put the transfer into some water, so the transfer comes off the paper and we can apply it on a plate just like that. So this is before the firing. During the firing, the yellow varnish disappears and the color appears to give
Beautiful.
a piece like this one.
Beautiful.